Tangled, a story of rebellion and coming of age, breaking free of toxic relationships and becoming the person that you were born to be. And a horse and a chameleon with uncanny displays of intelligence, and you cannot convince me that they are not the best characters in the movie. But if we shift the perspective from Golden Locks and instead focus on the villain of the story, Mother Gothel, and it becomes a story about when people invade your home, steal your stuff, and when you steal it back, you're forced to live in exile to protect it. But to imagine that, let me just put you in her shoes. So imagine that you are Mother Gothel. You are a woman that looks suspiciously a lot like Cher. It's almost as if you're based on her. And a very long time ago, you discovered a magical bullshit plant. And for some reason, you decided to sing a special song to it. And as a consequence, you found everlasting youth. Now, could you sing something else and still get magic, or even a different form of magic? Who knows? In 400 years, you never thought to try it. Happy with just immortality, a simplistic life. Over the years, though, colonizers came and built the Kingdom of Corona, a Spanish name, but these are not Spanish inquisitors, so everything that they did was completely expected. And when their kingdom sprawls over your land, you know you must do whatever it takes to protect your flower. But of course, as with all things, it was not to last. The Queen, like so many others in those times, suffered a complicated pregnancy. And because she is royalty and therefore superior to others in every single way, to the point that they all decided to go out and find a flower, and rather than escort her to it and cast the magic on her, or even replant the flower in the kingdom walls for everyone to use, no, they put it in a tea to heal her, and only her, and as a consequence, a young girl with blonde hair was born that looked suspiciously magical. And based on that suspicion, you decide to do some tests. You sneak into the castle, which apparently is super easy. Their guards are unequivocally useless, and you have a hunch that that child's hair has the magic of the flower. And upon singing to it, your suspicions are confirmed. So you try to steal the hair, but the magic disappears, and you realize that the magic only works if the princess is attached to the hair. So you do what anyone would do in that situation when your survival hinges on this child's ability to heal you. You forcefully adopt this child. Unfortunately though, at this time, you also had another child, apparently, and upon stealing the princess, you tried to return to your home, but you were beaten there by some royal guards. So naturally, you abandon your own child and escape, stealing into the night and into the forest. Luckily though, thanks to having your own child, truly the timing couldn't have been any better for such a calamity to occur, you were able to perform the duties of a wet nurse and breastfeed her, without needing anyone else. And for the next few years, you construct an enormous tower hidden in the middle of a canyon. And I mean, she grows up well. She's polite, she's charming, she's affable, very clean, creative, and delightfully naive. And just a hint of insecurity that you can exploit. Indeed, after 400 years, you have developed a suspicious talent for negging, which you use rather liberally against her.
I see a strong, confident, beautiful young lady. Oh, look, you're here too.
And this serves two purposes. One, it keeps her from wanting to explore the outside world. And two, it keeps you in control. Because while you do love her in your own way, and you do want what's best for her as if she was your own daughter, you also need to do what's best for you. You need to keep her alive. It wasn't her fault that the colonizers came and stole your flower, stole your immortality, only to squander such a gift for the sake of one life. But now it is your duty to protect it, as you have always done, by any means necessary. Because normal humans, they are stupid, they are greedy, and they are incredibly short-sighted. 400 years has given you the ability to think and plan ahead. And of course, if she was back as a princess is just a bargaining chip. A hand in marriage for land, prestige or something. Actually, what you're doing is saving her from that fate to be another man's property. Truly, royal families are some of the most disgusting of them all. They could not be trusted with this gift, not at all, no matter how benevolent they may seem. And besides, what you're trying to do is keep her by your side, because she will be immortal. And once her family is dead and gone, maybe then you'll let her outside. Like what, 40 years? The time will fly by. And this year, for her birthday, she keeps talking about these lanterns. Lanterns of hope. Something you know well. You feign ignorance because you cannot let her know what they actually represent, or everything will come crumbling down. And to top it all off, she thinks she becomes an adult at 18. Good Lord, you realised you weren't even an adult until you were in your mid-200s. She's got a long way to go yet. So you sing a musical number to really emphasise your point. You really like singing. That you know best, and that cultural ideas such as 18th birthdays and adulthood from the 21st century transposed in an era when people actually became adults at 14 doesn't really apply to a family that can easily live into the millions. So imagine your surprise one day when you come home from a day of foraging. This time you weren't collecting food for her. In fact, you were there to get shells to make her paint, something she directly requested for. And it was for her birthday, because you are such a good mother and you always take care of your child. But when you come back, you see that there is a kingdom horse nearby, and you realize exactly what that could mean, and you rush home, and she's gone. Completely gone. Now, your fear at this point is palpable. Nothing like this has ever happened. You thought you were safe. You thought you were clever. It's like the flower thing all over again. This is a big problem. And there was that big argument before where you screamed at her, and maybe she took that to heart. It's really annoying because like all you're doing is trying to look after her.
Mom! Enough of the lights, Rapunzel! You are not leaving this tower! Ever!
And safeguard her gift. And now she's gone, and she's made you look like a bad guy. You look like a villain for some silly dream of seeing lanterns. It's incredibly wasteful. You spend days cleaning up those lanterns in the forest. Some of them even cause forest fires. But the nobles, they only do what they think is beautiful without thinking about the actual consequences of their actions. They probably have never even given it a second thought. Anyway, you find that royal crown stashed away. Now that is surprising, because if she was going to leave, or if she was being abducted, she would probably take that crown. So there's something else going on here. But you do find a clue in that bag. A picture of a wanted man. So she's probably been kidnapped. So you follow them, you chase them down, and you find them in a tavern, singing with the locals about chasing their dreams? A surprise to be sure, but especially as this is one of those dive taverns that you warned her about. But it seems that no, she has not been kidnapped by that rogue. No, it seems she's rather friendly with that rogue. Since we're using 21st century American laws here, she's not even 21, so this is all kind of illegal.
Ryder, where is he? I know he's in here somewhere.
And she escapes through a tunnel. And so you smooth talk a man wearing diapers into telling you exactly where it goes. Because, you are 400 years old. You have no magic. You have no strength. All you have are your wits, your cunning, and your ability to manipulate and coerce. And a man in diapers, well, is barely trivial. So you follow the trail, but you don't actually find Rapunzel or that rogue. Instead, you find two people cursing him out. Twins by the look of it. A bit like Fred and George, just without the boyish charisma. Anyway, you figure that they're all after this crown. And they're big, brutish lads. And so for you, they can be very useful. So you do a little casual social engineering. Because, although these kids are barely old enough to be off their mum's teat, so it's a bit like convincing a problem gambler to gamble away their life savings on some rigged dice so you can steal enough gold to build a tower in a canyon.
Flynn Rider.
And you do end up catching up to Rapunzel with these two clowns, and that this is a big problem. You never taught her how to survive. She has no idea what she's doing, so she's really bad at it. And they're just camping in the middle of the forest with a fire, like there's not a care in the world. Great for you, but really disappointing, because who knows what could have happened. And they share some moment and he toddles off. So you reveal yourself. You lay down one of the hardest hitting lines of your life.
How did you find me?
Oh, it was easy, really. I just listened for the sound of complete and utter betrayal and followed that.
And she tells you she met someone.
I think he likes me.
Likes you, please, Rapunzel. That's demented.
The thief, the rogue, well, you're going to tell her when you get home all about that kind of person, the manipulators, the ones that are only out for their own self-interest and what they can get from another person.
Why would he like you? Come on now, really? Look at you. You'll think that he's impressed.
They're the reason why you need to control her.
Dear, this whole romance that you've invented just proves you're too naive to be here.
To keep her safe from people like them.
Mother...
No!
Okay, well, you were gonna wait, but since she's adamant, you perform another musical number. Why? After seeing those ruffians sing in the tavern, you can't afford to lose your prestige as the best random singer in the land. No, that would be crazy. You can give her a little learning experience. Show her the reality of her world.
This is why he's here. Don't let him deceive you. Give it to him, what you'll see. I will.
The people are evil, cruel, and vicious. Crown, and you put him to the test, but it doesn't happen right away. She's a bit insecure, but that's okay.
All good things to those who wait.
400 years has taught you the patience of this moment. And she does go to the castle. Luckily, she avoids all suspicion. Literally the only girl there with green eyes and blonde hair and in the entirety of the kingdom. And no one realizes who that is. It's all quite handy, actually. But then they have a romantic day together and you see they get on a boat and you figure this is probably the time. And the boat comes over the horizon and you do see her give him the crown. And thus you commence the plan, which he falls for hook, line and sinker, really. And with some amazing rope skills, you set him up to look like he's sailing away and let those two lads think they're about to win, when really you're doing the old double betrayal. And now you look amazing, like you look awesome. You look like a hero, the only person in the world that actually cares about Rapunzel.
You were right, Mother. You were right about everything.
She is like putty in your hand now and she wants to go home, which you're more than happy to facilitate.
There. It never happened. Now, wash up for dinner. I'm making hazelnut soup.
She will now see you as her true mother. And she won't be able to leave you now. No, now she will always be yours because there is no way you can turn back from this level of trauma and be okay. At least not for a couple 100 years. And I mean, you look back, she looks so distraught. She chased her dreams and got burned.
I really did try, Rapunzel. I tried to warn you what was out there.
Granted, you orchestrated the whole thing. But she doesn't need to know that. You were just trying to educate her in the evil world that exists outside. But you still feel bad because, you do love this child in your own way. You do care about her. Yes, you have to make her feel insecure sometimes. And yes, you are superior to everyone else in the world. But you do love her. And now you have someone to spend immortality with. And you would never admit this, but 400 years of watching people die around you, it changes you. Sure, you could have given the plant to other people, but then they would want others to join. Then they would want to share the plant and potentially destroy it. It was always safe in your hands because you knew its value. You knew it needed protection from those who would use it carelessly. And that's exactly what happened. But now you have Rapunzel. And she is your responsibility to let her and the power not fall into the wrong hands again. So you have to be a little cruel. You have to make her doubt herself so she doesn't end up like that flower, used improperly because people didn't understand it. And love, that is a surefire way to make this situation a whole lot more complicated. But then something happens. She has the audacity to go through a full-blown identity crisis, claiming that she's the lost princess and...
Did I mumble, Mother? Or should I even call you that?
how you'll never use her hair again. And, well, you're in a bit of a pickle now because she is suspiciously strong, but after 400 years, morality is kind of a human ideal for people who plan to die and who worry about legacy, whatever that is. But you don't plan to die. You don't have that luxury.
Want me to be the bad guy? Fine. Now I'm the bad guy.
You chain her up. It's for her own good, really. Otherwise, she would go out there, marry that rogue, and live a happy few years, and then he will die. And she will be heartbroken. Even though she would be chained here with you. Together you would be immortal. And maybe in a few hundred years, she might grow to love you again. She is extremely young still. She's still taking her first steps.
Rapunzel, let down your hair!
Oh, he's back. Riding that same horse. That's okay. You can plan for that. A little cheeky stab and he's taken care of. But then the comedian gets in the way.
I will never stop trying to get away from you. You let me save him. I'll never try to escape.
She does know that you're really not going to leave any witnesses, right? Especially not one like him. But whatever, you can let her save him and you can just chain him up. And that way, his only way to escape is the coyote way or starvation. Either way. And then you watch on as they have their beautiful little moment. Child love, puppy love. And you realize you're definitely making the right decision here. This kind of love leaves people feeling hurt, and it will only end badly. Before we end, the implications of this fade out are pretty crazy for a kids movie. If you like the video, please give it a like and don't forget to vote in the poll that I do every week for the next villain perspective. Don't forget to subscribe because at 100,000 I figured this is the perfect video to mention this. When I left England almost 10 years ago, I went with the intention of growing my hair to eventually donate it to charity. So, 10 years on, my hair is, well, it's grown almost 10 years without ever having a haircut that wasn't done by me. Yeah, I've decided that at 100k, I will cut my hair and donate it to charity. Probably not the most exciting thing in the world for people, but that's where you get to look forward to 100k, just for shits and giggles. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to shout out my members real quick, especially Jay. Thank you so much, Jay. You're awesome. And of course, Lavender, Yuri, Sam, Zyla, Sam, Elissa, Louis, and Alan. Thank you. Have a great day and have a great life.